EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hello everybody and welcome. Hey, I feel so much better about a lot of things, but we only have time to talk about one item. But everyone waking up this morning ought to have a smile on their face. This morning and late last night, Schumer made the announcement. Now, Mr. Schumer is the Senate Minority Leader, basically representing the Democrats. And he says, we are not against, if anything, we're in favor of voter ID, a passport, birth certificate, naturalization papers, driver's licenses that have been verified. He says, we're all in favor of IDs, which was not the impression we all got about 5 weeks ago. Well, that's wonderful. We're not arguing that. And then Trump did something wise. He says, also this bit about the ICE agency, and we've made several changes, and they're turning out to be a wonderful organization. And both ICE and the transport security people work for the same department, have the same organizations for salary and everything else. We might as well put the two bills together. And by putting the two bills together to vote on today, it only requires a simple majority, not 60% or 65% of the entire population. I think that's wonderful. So basically, why did this suddenly happen? I'll tell you why, but it doesn't matter. I like seeing Republicans and Democrats working together. The days are gone where one group is good and the other group is bad. I mean, that is utterly ridiculous. This country was founded on the two-party system with checks and balances and the ability to compromise, accept good ideas from one party, right, good ideas from the other party, and that's what made this country great.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Martha. Isn't it about, one person can't think of everything, and neither can one group of people.
That's correct.
So you need the input from people from different mindsets and stuff to figure out what really could be the best thing.
That's absolutely correct. And that seems to be happening. And why did it all come around? There may have been some pressure, but also some facts. In terms of the whole country, the survey that was taken on Democrats, Republicans, independents, and non-party people, there are quite a few that have no party affiliation. The entire citizenry that vote legally, they took a Gallup poll and other polls, and it all came out. 85% of the entire adults in this country want voter ID. That includes, like I said, the Democrats, Republicans, and all others. And it has nothing to do with race, white, black, all different nationalities. This is all together. Everybody wants 85% to have voter ID. They want everybody to vote once, not several times.
Yeah.
And they want everybody to be accountable for their vote. And that's what made this country great. That's one reason. when the Democrats had a meeting and decided and saw the 80+ percentages, and they don't want to lose their constituency, come on, they've got to, for the first time, listen to the people.
I'm going to say something silly, but why would you not want people to have an ID? I mean, we kind of know some of the answers and we don't want to get into it, but why would you not want someone to have an ID and just take for granted that's who they are, that they're able to vote? I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Their initial response was, well, with all the illegal immigrants who can't speak English yet or anything, we want them to be able to vote. Well, how can they vote when they can't read what they're voting for and don't know the history of the people who are running? Liberal, conservative, moderate, for them, not for them, or anything else. How can they do that when they don't speak English? So there is no argument for that.
Yeah.
But what they were saying is you're eliminating too many American voters. That's wrong. Well, we're not eliminating people who can afford to fly on an airplane. We know that. And we can't, and there's just no real reason other than their personal agenda.
So in other words, they were looking for a head count.
Yes.
That's all it was. They were looking for a head count.
That's correct.
Okay.
You got it cold.
Okay.
And then the second reason it's really come to a head, and I was smiling the whole time I was driving into the radio station this morning. It's fabulous. In Hartsfield Airport, these people called in. The waiting line for going through baggage is only about 11 people long. Mm-hmm. So many people got there 3 hours ahead of time, knowing they'd be facing a mob. The mob is now gone.
Right.
ICE is assisting the TS workers, and they're working together and going very, very smooth.
Yeah, my daughter literally just flew out of Orlando this morning at 7 a.m. and she said there were 11 people in line.
Yeah,
I mean,
that too.
They were going right through. Orlando had some problems with their trams and stuff. I guess they're upgrading or whatever. But as far as the TSA and the lines and all that, they went right through. She said there was no one waiting in line.
Mm-hmm. And TSA has the busiest airport seemed to be during spring break, right. Atlanta, Hartsfield.
And it is spring break in Orlando. You know, here she's on spring break. That's why she's flying.
They were all being pushed right on through.
They were.
And had their IDs ready and everything, and it was going beautifully. And then Trump even said, you know, ICE and the TSA people are all on the same payrolls from the same department. We might as well vote for all of them to work together. And we may even keep ICE at some of the airports when people are thumbing through to find IDs and wasting time like that, they can pull them aside and be able to calmly get them processed. And it's working out beautifully, just beautifully. Yeah. We're not even talking about a permanent arrangement yet. But this is all helping to get the vote on the table and to get this partial shutdown over with. And both sides are very, very happy if this goes through. Very, very happy. I just can't explain. It's a shame about those 2 people in Missouri that ended up getting shot and killed. But it was, let's face it, it was also their fault. You were told by the Democratic mayor, the Democratic governor, and the rulers in Minnesota, when you demonstrate peacefully, don't bring any guns. The one guy, Alex, defied that and bought a gun. And he obviously has not had a lot of experience in using it and was very sloppy on pointing it and everything else. And he's the one of the two that got shot and killed. And the other one, Mrs. Good, who drove the car, all they asked her, 4 different people, I found out some of the details, asked her just to move the car a matter of 10 or 20 yards, not to block the street. And they will gladly talk to her and work with her about what to do. And she refused and yelled and screamed and wouldn't move the car. Now, we're not talking about 2 innocent people being shot. They asked for it. And ICE did their job. In contrast, this last weekend, we had 2 people shot, one Loyola University freshman taking a walk in Chicago. This repeated offender, illegal terrorist who had a lot of criminal activity, but they constantly in Chicago released him, and he shot her, not knowing who she was, but she was in the right place for him to shoot somebody in the dark. And that person was shot and killed. And it shouldn't have happened, and we all knew that. But Illinois was fighting ICE and fighting security measures to be taken, including the governor, including the mayor. And then with the second shooting and killing, lo and behold, in Fairfax, Virginia, the same thing happened with an illegal. So ICE has not only saved tens of thousands of lives by exporting what I call thugs, but they're basically violent illegals who have no intentions of assimilating, no intentions of respecting other people or being accountable. They have one agenda. They love raping, they love murder, and they love all kidnapping and all kinds of illegal activities. It gives them power, and they can rob people's wallets and make them a living and sufficient money by doing those things.
And isn't that what's going on in a lot of these countries, and on why so many people want to come to the United States, because they actually can't live in their own countries?
That is correct.
I mean, you talk about ICE and whatever stopping all of this. Well, that's what they're honestly trying to stop. And some of the people do get in the mix. There's no question about that. I mean, everything isn't always perfect, and that's a really sad thing that does happen. Mm-hmm. But their focus is that.
Their focus is not killing people.
Right, and their focus is to get rid of that kind of crime and stuff so you can actually walk down the street.
And the Democrats want to be, I still say the big majority of them want to be moderate and want to be fair.
Right.
And the only reason to do that, only way to do that, is break apart from the far left, which has a different agenda. Mm-hmm. And everybody by now should know what the left agenda is. They have a private agenda for taking over the country. They don't care about the individual people. Trump does. I hate to say it, but more than half the demonstrators that under Floyd and what happened a few years ago, they are all pro-Trump people. He has proved that all races, including black races matter, everyone matters, every American citizen matters, no matter what color, what shade, what nationality. Individual American citizens are what matter if America is to be great. And I hate to say it, but I've heard this even from Democrats in our community. They said the Democrats have got to change their agenda. They've got to, right now, they represent BLM also, but it's Bad Lives Matter, not Black Lives. Bad Lives Matter, illegal aliens who cause crime, they matter, and they have to change that agenda. The agenda they also have to change is trying to get all kids to consider becoming transgender. Gender. That is ridiculous. And they also have to change a couple of their other ideas. But outside of that, the moderate Republicans and the moderate Democrats are what make this country. And they're talking to one another again, and I'd like to see it being back to normal. I said several times ago, I said, if I only had $3 billion, I would start the All-American Democratic Party, because that, with the populist moderate ones, with the Republicans, would make a beautiful, beautiful combination like we discussed earlier. So with that, we've got to take a break, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
Evergreen Media is your go-to for podcasting. Business owners, boost your brand by educating clients with your own show. Just show up. We handle everything else. Get your custom video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and more. Start today at egreenmedia.com.
Healthy retirement starts at Treasure Coast Community Health. Short waits, easy scheduling, on-site services, wellness visits, chronic care management, and same-day sick visits. Call 772-257-8224 or visit tcchinc.org.
Is your pool losing its cool and its water? Don't let your money drain into the dirt. At Leak Seekers FLA, we'll find and repair your pool leak fast. Visit leakseekersfla.com. Not just leaks, but resurfacing, equipment, and more. Leakseekersfla.com. Let us take a peek and find the pool leak.
Hey you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Hi there. I've got to say something else. I'm very, very glad that America's coming together again. But in just a couple of sentences, I've got to say, I've spent a lot of time the last few weeks reviewing history throughout the world. And wherever there is communism and socialism, it initially works until, and I say until, it may take a couple of years, it may take a couple of days, may take a couple of months, whatever it is, until other people's money dries up. communism, everybody was happy when Castro took over. That was the island of Cuba was the wealthiest island in the entire Caribbean, south of the United States. Now it is the poorest. Russia gave them money in the beginning, promised them better health care, promised them more money, and they voted in Castro, and they voted in Castro's brother after he died, and the country got poorer and poorer and poorer. And now the lights are off for 2/3 of the day. Electricity in other areas are totally out altogether. Food is rationed. It's very minimal. And that country is hurting immensely. The hospitals are rat and roach infested. They don't have enough people on payroll to keep the place clean. It is terrible. It's the worst island, not the nicest and best island like it used to be. Why? Very simple. Socialism and communism ran out of other people's money. And same happened in Venezuela. Venezuela had a big middle class just a few years back. And now the people were starving until we got rid of Maduro. And there's a long ways to go to bring it back, but they're doing it. There isn't one successful communist or socialistic country that is successful galore. Not one. Russia has what they call a middle class is poorer than our people on welfare. They still have ice boxes, not refrigerators, because electricity is not the best when you go to the suburban areas and countryside. They are very, very tight on food. The only thing cheap is vodka. For like 10 American cents, you can get a bottle. I'm telling you, in order to be comfortable as a middle-class person, you've got to be accountable, control your spending, and control how you can increase, whether it's education, whether it's on-the-job training, how you can improve yourself. And that's beautiful. That's mostly what the whole entire world wants, which is why people still want to come to the United States. So let's not go through the heartache of socialism and communism and wish we were back to democracy like Venezuela used to have. Believe me, let's not make those mistakes. So keep in mind, if you remember this, if nothing else, socialism does not work when it runs out of other people's money. Not your own money, other people's money who are funding it. They eventually leave and go away. That's what's happening to New York City, I'm ashamed to say, but it's happening with all socialism. So on that note, please have a very, very good week, and good things are happening for the United States, the Middle East, the whole world. We're going to get there, and we look forward to peace in the future. Have a great week.